Welcome back to another episode of the Carbon Cardboard Podcast, covering the Formula One sports card hobby. Scott, we got a little fun episode today. We are going to take a look at 2025 Topps Dynasty Formula One.
Finally, some new products. I'm really excited. I know we've had, Lights Out, Volume 2. There's kind of been a couple Lights Out releases and Turbo Attacks, but we're ready for a flagship release. And Dynasty coming out first this year, which is actually the first time that they've released Dynasty first since 2020. 2020 Dynasty was actually the first ever product. So cool to see them return to their roots. We'll have to see if the product stands up to 2020 standards as well. But yeah, excited to chat some new product and had a pretty good race in Mexico.
Yeah, we'll get to the Dynasty in a little bit, and we'll also take a look at the finalized bracket for the Pick'em Challenge that you've been running all year at the P1 Castle. Very exciting to get that launched, and I know, and everybody that knows you, Scott, knows that you love your brackets. So you're in your element.
Now I actually paid probably way too much money, potentially scam too much money, so I can make my own brackets that people can fill out. Because it was going to be this weird, using Survey Monkey to ask the question, then you got to ask it. It was way too complicated. So I just paid a bunch of money, and now you'll be able to fill out the exact bracket. We'll get to that later, but should be fun. NCAA March Madness, but for Formula One in November, December,
It's good stuff. So Scott, you mentioned it. We haven't talked in a while. You've been busy. I've been busy. We haven't debriefed since the Mexican Grand Prix, and quite an entertaining race.
Yeah, absolutely. There was a lot. I mean, it was funny. I mowed the lawn, not this past weekend, but the weekend before during the Mexican Grand Prix. And I was joking that they probably cut more grass during the race than I did mowing my lawn, because there was a lot of cars off the track, even just on lap one. But yeah, it was a really good race. And we saw a little changing of the guard, as now Lando Norris, with the dominant win, retakes the lead of the championship by a one point over Oscar.
Yep.
1 point. Max did claw back a little bit. He lost points to Lando, but gained on Oscar. Ultimately, now he's only 34 points off the lead. Went into the weekend down 40. So he did gain 6. And of course, we've got 4 races, 2 sprints left. So still quite a few points up for grabs. But yeah, Lando, I've seen a lot of people, and we're talking, legitimate podcasts, pundits, media, saying that they think that this was Lando's best Grand Prix weekend ever. And they might be right, because he was on it. And remember, Lando missed FP1, right? He gave up his seat for one of the rookie test drivers. So he wasn't there for FP1, still managed to absolutely dominate throughout the weekend. I mean, he was on pole by 4/10 and then just cruised away. I mean, there was a little bit of weird shenanigans with Max going way off and people going off and everything, but Lando ultimately came out of all of that hustle and bustle with the lead and pretty much never looked back after that. I mean, he won by 30 plus seconds. It's very impressive.
Yeah, a lot of different action there, and to again bring it back to the cards. I know we didn't have this on the docket to talk about per se, but I mean, Scott, in the P1 Castle, are people clamoring for Lando now at this point?
Well, I will say, obviously we run single streams, we do all sorts of stuff, premium consignment, etc. The tide has definitely shifted. Even just doing single stream on Whatnot, Lando cards were selling for a lot. Oscar cards were not. So, I mean, I don't know if it's that F1 collector fans are fickle and, won a couple bad races and, all of a sudden Oscar is Woody and Lando is Buzz Lightyear in the meme. I don't know, but yeah, everyone, really likes Lando right now. And it wasn't so long ago that everyone was making fun of Lando in the Legends chat. And I had to defend him from all the crucifixion coming his way. But yeah, people like Lando. A lot of interest in folks for buying Lando. I will say there's still a really healthy Oscar market. I mean, Golden just sold. They do their kind of elite auction every week or every month rather. Oscar Piastri, 2023 Dynasty, so rookie card.
Mhm.
Little patch, nothing crazy about the patch, just a single patch. It's not like it's McLaren or something insane. But single patch, PSA 9 auto 10, so decent. $16,000
Wow.
on Golden. And I had people coming at me because we have a 1 of 1 jumbo patch listed for 75, saying, "Oh, it's crazy, it's insane, you're crazy, you're pumping, you're hyping," whatever, losers like to say. But I don't know. I think 75 might be low at this point. If an out of 10 PSA 9 single patch is doing 16, I don't know. I think we may have to reassess Oscar's rookie card dynasty market. But a lot of it will also have to see where prices go, because I think a lot of Oscar prices over the last 3 months had really like baked in that he was going to win, right? I think people were really thinking he's going to win. So I think if he does win, I think Oscar cards do still have room to grow from where they are now. After he wins, but if he loses, there definitely could be a substantial, pullback. I don't know what percentage we're talking about here, but I could definitely see some Oscar cards taking a hit if he doesn't pull it off. I will say, man, all it's going to take is one weekend. Like if Oscar comes out and wins in Brazil, then what? Then is everyone right back where we were and thinks Lando's the worst driver in the world and Oscar's best? I don't know. I think F1 is so week to week. And because of the fact that there's only ever one winner in a race, I feel like it just kind of is very polarizing. People's opinions sway with like the wind, Brian. I mean,
What my that's me.
right?
I like, it's like the dog from Up. It's like squirrel. It's pretty much how my focus goes
Yep.
with a lot of this, but I don't know. And we talk about it all the time. I mean, just cue it up. Not financial advice, and that's why we're very careful to talk about a lot of these things. It is important to tie what's going on track to the card market, but anytime you speculate on things that have not occurred yet, if it doesn't occur, that is when you might be on the wrong side of things.
Yeah.
And also too, it's how many times have we talked about it? Just this calendar year alone, it's exciting to be part of the run up, to be part of it, whether it's with Lando or Oscar, potentially Max winning his fifth. The all time greats, like I'm gonna throw Max in there at this point. Not scandalous to say that.
Absolutely. No.
Lewis, Vettel, um, we'll talk about it a little bit with Senna, but we wish we had the type of products that we have now at the time when a lot of these other Schumacher, Senna, like having
Yeah.
like fully licensed race suits. They don't have to doctor out for any advertisements that sponsors that can't be there anymore. So if you're worried about missing the bag, invest in a sure thing. You can't go wrong with getting Lewis or Max cards. And if you look at break prices
I've already
and
done it,
singles, they've already done it. Like you don't have to wonder. And even if neither Max or Lewis don't win another championship for the rest of their careers, they still have 7 and 4 championships. Like you can't take that away from them at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, listen, like you brought it up. If Max somehow finds a way to pull off this championship, I don't know. That's
It would
crazy.
easily be his most impressive, although the first one, going toe to toe with Lewis, is
First one.
the first one always matters a lot. And as we'll quickly find out with maybe Lando or Oscar, but if he was to win a fifth, you'd have to put this one either number 1 or number 2 out of the 5 in terms
Absolutely.
of just impressive dragging this car, just putting uh, eh, this is exactly even if he doesn't win, you still have to chalk this up to a phenomenal season for Max.
Yeah, and obviously Red Bull, I think, has continued to develop their car past McLaren's, right? And we've seen the Red Bull take steps. The new floor they added has obviously helped them. But we saw, I mean, Max won in Japan. That's the beginning of the season when the
Mhm.
McLaren was way better than the Red Bull. So yeah, I mean, Max just somehow finds a way to get it done, to pull every millisecond out of that car. So
Max
very impressive.
loves Brazil. It's a great track for him.
Loves a wet Brazil, especially. And there
Mhm.
is rain on the forecast. It's funny because, every time, I swear, we see it's like, forecasts Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it's like 95% chance of rain on all 3 days. And it's like, yeah, but like what time?
Mhm.
Because that matters. Because if it's like, oh, it's gonna rain at 10 o'clock at night, that doesn't matter. So we'll see. I would love to see a wet Brazil. Um, I think Lando probably wouldn't. But I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm excited for it though. And of course it's gonna be our our bracket is gonna get started during that too. So
Alright, we'll get to the bracket in a
pumped for it.
moment. Let's start looking at the facsimile images that Topps has put out for 2025 Topps Dynasty Formula 1. Scott, I'll
Yeah,
throw it over to you first.
sure. So, obviously every year, and we've seen it every year, look at baseball, which gets released months and months and months before F1. You will see something similar in Formula One, right? So I think this design kind of took a lot of people by surprise. It is compared to 2024, which is a very, I would say 24 was a fairly like muted, just clean lines, not too loud of a design. This one definitely is a lot more pop, right? The gold trim, the silver trim, like they're getting fancy with it. I think it's really cool. I think it helps, again, a lot of people are like, oh, 2020 is the best. Go 2020. 2020 is the best. 2020 will always be the best, but you can't make every set the same. So you have to do something different. I think this is different. I think it's exciting. I do like the way some of the cards look. I'm not 100% sure. I need to see a single patch. None of the, and I've seen some in baseball, but I do really need to see it translate because, I look at these dual patches and on the screen, we've got the George Russell, Kimi Antonelli 1 of 1 dual, and then we've got a Max out of 2 dual, right? So we see the dual patches, and a lot of people have been saying, oh, the patches are so small. Um, they look smaller than they actually are, I think, because if you think back to the designs from 23, 24, every single year, when you've got a triple or a dual patch, they are really small patches. I think what's made them a little bit smaller now is the rounded edges, right? They have rounded edges, so it's a circle instead of a square. And then they've kind of added that bit of flair on the outside. So I love, by the way, I love the design of like take away patches, take away all the images. The actual card. I don't know if you can like zoom in real quick on like see where the max F175 is, kind of right below that, if there's a way for you to zoom in. Yeah, so then pull it over. Okay. So it's got like this like tiering. It's not quite like superfractor circles, but they're like this arches. And they do make a really nice backdrop. right? It's not too crazy, but it adds a nice little flair. So overall, I think the design is cool. It's got the F175 logo. I think we're going to see that on every single card that they make this year. I think F175 is just everywhere. But first impression, I probably like 2024 a bit more because I'm more of a classic. I like just simple. It's Dynasty. Keep it simple. Nice patches. Good auto. So it is a little bit more eccentric, but overall, I think it's solid. Ultimately, gonna have to get it in hand. But yeah, what do you think? And we can go if you want to go to the next
Yeah, I'll
slide,
go to the
maybe.
next one in a second. Before we do that, though, I I don't know what to make of it yet, Scott. I would say I'm not a super big fan of the font they've used for the drivers, um,
For the names.
for the names. I do like the F175, and we're going to see that, I would imagine, also probably on Chrome and everything else that we're going to see this year. Scott, it almost looks like a higher end Echelenza with the
Mm.
circles from
Mm,
2023. 2024 obviously had those like L-shaped relic.
right.
Um, so I don't know. I let's look at some of the other ones here. This is very different now, Scott. So on screen, I I am red green colorblind, so it's hard for me to make out like what on earth this Lando Norris card is because I don't see an autograph and I also don't see a relic.
Yeah, so this is what's called liquid silver. And they did do very similar thing in baseball. So they're very short print. But yeah, there's no relic, there's no auto. It's just like a super short print liquid silver. I don't know exactly how many of each there are. There's also a gold one of one version as well. I think the gold one of ones will probably do pretty well. I really don't know. I know a lot of people's initial reaction was not great. They're like, hey, we're paying for a premium product with a autograph and a relic, and then we get a card that has neither. So I don't know. But I will say some people have said that in the baseball community, those types of cards have been selling pretty well. So maybe they will. I don't know. But it is odd to in a product where it's about the autos, it's about the relics, to have a card that doesn't have it. So I'm not really sure what to make of it yet, to be honest.
And the other one on screen here, first time signer in Dynasty, the legend, Jackie Stewart.
Jackie Stewart. Yeah. And so this is part of the Legend 75, right? So you're going to see pretty much every legend that is in the product will have these 75th variations, right? Where it's kind of, instead of little circles for where the patches are, it's a 7 and a 5 cut out, and then the patches are underneath. Um, I think it's interesting. It's a cool, 7.5 is pretty cool. I like the patch that they have here for Jackie Stewart. I also think they've done a good job design wise with the legends because they do a decent job, at least in this. We'll have to see what the actual card looks like when we get it. But this card does a decent job of fading out the race suit, putting the autograph right over it. So it's like you can almost miss that there's no sponsors on the race suit, right?
Mhm,
And I think that's what they need to do. I actually think black and white would have been the best
mhm.
for legends, but this is about as close as you can get. It's got a nice vibrant patch. So I mean, this looks really good. I think a lot of people really liked the Jackie Stewart card. I think when I made a post of all of these previews, the Jackie Stewart one was the one that got the most positive uh opinions from folks. So yeah, I think it's a really good looking card. We'll have to see more. Go ahead.
What on earth is this card on the left, Scott? Is there like a gold bar on this? Like
This is a gold bar. So this is and now on the screen again. We have two examples of one of ones, and they're both having to do with precious metals and gems. On the left, we have the gold bar F1. So again, I think these are only for legends. But so this is basically a fully 24 karat gold bar that says Topps and has the F1 logo on it. I think it looks pretty cool. You do miss out on a relic though, right? Like you're getting this gold bar instead of a relic. This has been around in Panini for a long time, in basketball and baseball and maybe football. But this has been around for a while. I don't know how these things sell. I think it's a cool way to get the F1 logo in. Like, I think the card actually looks pretty cool. I wouldn't mind having like a gold bar kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. I think it's new, it's unique, and I don't hate that. Right? I like to see them trying things. We'll have to see what the market thinks on these. You still got an autograph there on card. So it comes down to, do you want a relic or do you want this gold bar? And again, it is only for legends. I mean, bring up again, Len, we're going to talk about this a little bit more here coming up. It's tough to get these race suits
Mhm.
of legends, especially the more popular they are, the harder they are to get. So clearly one of the ideas they had is, okay, well, instead of getting like this nondescript, you can't really see anything, it's just like a piece of red cloth or whatever, no one's going to like that patch. Instead, why don't we put this cool gold bar in there stamped with the F1 logo? I don't hate the idea. Whether or not the market responds positively to it, I don't know. We'll have to see.
I don't
And
know,
then
but, like, just
yeah,
before you jump to that too, Scott, like, last year, I thought Topps knocked it out of the park with the 3 Schumacher Dynasty cards. I mean, you had the
yes,
Ferrari crest, um,
nameplate
nameplate,
and zipper.
and zipper. Yeah, the zipper was, I mean, the 3rd out of the 3,
It was
but
still nice.
yeah, exactly, and it's just like I talked about it months ago. Whenever we talked about it. Like, for me, I want the relic, Scott. Like, you've got a piece of history, especially when you've got a driver. I mean, no slight to Juan Pablo Montoya, Mario Andretti, world champion. You got Michael Schumacher. You've got a card that has like something that was he wore. The other thing that I would say, Scott, I failed to mention it. I'm hoping that it comes through when these are live. If you noticed, I'm just gonna scoot back to the first one. Underneath Kimi Antonelli, authentic race use memorabilia. No question now. It's right
That
on the
has
front of the card. It's
never
never been
been
there.
on an F1 Dynasty card ever.
Not even on the back. Like, it's right on the front.
It's
That's
always
gonna
been
help.
authentic. That's cool. I like that.
I know that a lot of the high-end Panini products have, like, the game used. Obviously, you're not gonna have game used for a racing sport, but race used, this is gonna be huge.
Yeah, that's a great point. That is a really good point to bring up.
All right, let's
So hold
just
on, hold on. I
rip.
want to talk about
Oh,
the other card real quick first. Sorry.
okay.
So the other card that was on there is Mario Andretti. So right, we had the Juan Pablo Montoya gold bar, where it's just his autograph and a gold bar. The Andretti card I actually really like, because so this card has a large patch. And by the way, I don't know if these are considered jumbos or singles, because they're kind of like in between. It looks almost a little bit too big for be a single patch, but too small to be a jumbo. So I don't know what they're calling these. But it looks like it's got like a genuine relic from a race suit. And then it also has a little diamond, which is cool. We see that in Flawless in basketball. People love that. So, and it's the mixture, right? It's not like it's a diamond and that's it. Like on the Juan Pablo Montoya, you get that gold bar, but that's it. So you get the diamond, you get part of the race suit. That's cool. I'll take it. Sure. Throw some diamonds in there. Now let's go to controversial card here. All right.
I have no words. I'm just gonna have to let you take the lead on this one.
Yeah. So on screen we have, they said in the checklist, it looked like they had, I think, potentially two. There was an envelope and a glove patch Ayrton Senna. So this is the one that's supposed to be the glove or the envelope. So and I know we don't have a picture of it, but so if you had, it's a booklet. If the booklet is closed, and this is different from last year. Last year, booklets, it just said Topps Dynasty on the front, and on the back, it said like what the card was. This year, they showed the video of it. On the front, there's a picture of Ayrton Senna, and it says like Ayrton Senna on the front, which I love, by the way, because it was so weird having to like slit the thing to know who it was. And like, oh, booklets were really weird last year when doing breaks of them and stuff. And even, I mean, you open a box, you don't get to look at the card without opening it. So it was weird. But so it's Ayrton Senna on the front. You open the card on the right-hand side of the booklet. So it's encased, the gold foiling pretty much takes up the entire part of the card, very similar to last year for the full jumbos. And it says, Ayrton Senna and gold trim. It's got his autograph, so clearly cut from an envelope. You can see the stamp on there. November 13th, 1988. 1988, very important for Ayrton Senna. However, on the left-hand side, it has what appears to be more part of that envelope. So there's no relic from a suit. It's still the envelope from the cut auto they took on the right-hand side. They cut out the auto piece on the left-hand side. They put part of the envelope. And so this envelope showcases the Adelaide Festival and the Australian Grand Prix from 1988. The only issue with that is that not Ayrton Senna, but Alain Prost won the 1988 Australian Grand Prix. And he is pictured in a drawing version of him. This is almost certainly Alain Prost, not Ayrton Senna. On the left-hand side, there is a direct image of Prost spraying the champagne that was clearly used as the, art, what the artist took to make this drawing back in 1988. There's a picture that shows Prost very clearly doing it. It's also interesting though, because the artist did take some liberties, because you can see SAIMA, that was a sponsor for McLaren, stopped sponsoring them in 86, was not on their suit when they won this in 1988. Instead, it was a shell patch in that same area. So the artist has taken some liberties, but at this point, you can look it up, guys. 1988, Alain Prost has this longer kind of hair, medium range. Senna had short hair at the time. So he's wearing his hat. There's no spill out. I think it's pretty obvious that this is Alain Prost. There were times in their career where they look kind of similar, not in 1988. And I think these envelopes are, I don't know what they're doing with, like, Senna was writing on them. He's signing the envelope, sure, but it's something that's celebrating the Australian Grand Prix, and the winner of the Australian Grand Prix was Alain Prost. So it would make sense that it would be Alain Prost, not Ayrton Senna, pictured on the envelope. So I don't know what to think of this. I don't know whether this is intended, and they're like, oh, well, it was just the envelope was the document, right? And we wanted to preserve a cool part of the document on the left-hand side and then the auto on the right. Like, maybe, but on the left-hand side also says Ayrton Senna right under the picture, which is either very misleading at best or like really bad. I personally think they should remake this card. I don't think this card should be in the product, because if you are making a product, last year, Michael Schumacher, again, I think they knocked it out of the park last year. That Ferrari patch was insane. The M. shoe and the zipper, we pulled 2 out of the 3, right? Those cards were beautiful and everyone loved them. I don't know what people are going to think if they pull this card. If I open this card, I don't know what I'm going to say. I think it's fine to have the cut auto on the right-hand side. That's great. And again, we talked about it earlier. Getting suits of these drivers, especially someone like Senna. Like, guys, you have to understand, a lot of people can pile on Topps and be like, oh, this is trash. I can't believe they're doing this, blah, blah, blah. and I've seen a lot of that in the comments. You have to understand, especially for a legend of the sport who has passed away, it is extremely challenging to get authentic memorabilia of Ayrton Senna. Extremely challenging. And I'm sure they tried. It's not like Topps has no money. I'm sure they were trying as hard as they could and offering a lot of money to try to pick up these things. Ultimately, this is what they came out with the envelope. I don't know what the glove is going to be. If I were them, I would just remake the left-hand side, find something else to go in here. I don't know.
I'm torn, Scott. Like I get that side completely, but then if and I do know that like the full document of this, I think would have been a little bit better. But like you said, it is a little bit misleading to say, oh, this is a photo, an artist, of Senna on the left, and it clearly isn't. Like you've said, it's Prost. However, in totality, it is part of that. But I think Topps is going to have egg on their face on this a little bit. Like I think it literally, if you polled 100 people, Scott, it might be 50-50. Maybe
Yeah.
more on the side of being like, well, no, they got to remake it. But if it would just been a lot better if they said, hey, this was part of the same document, basically. And this is like the left side and the right side.
Yeah, I think where they really like the main issue to me is like the big Ayrton Senna nameplate right under the picture. Because like if someone is looking at this, they're gonna think, oh, okay, so that's Ayrton Senna. And listen, I've said this so many times again. I came from the Formula One world, not the card world, right? I came from the Formula One world. And I don't know if there are folks who are in the Formula One world having these discussions. Because if I was consulted on something like this, I'm going to be able to tell them that's Alain Prost. You probably shouldn't put that in there, or at least change the design somehow, right? To not have Senna's name right under the picture. I don't know. I've reached out to Topps and, I shared my opinion. I said, I think they should remake it. I don't know what they're going to do. The product drops in 2 weeks. And if product dropping in 2 weeks, probably been packaged, maybe. I don't know. It's frustrating because we seem to always have some issues. Last year, obviously, the Chrome Sapphire snafu with the autos and the pads. And now just a bit of a kind of, I don't know, general oversight on this, I think, issue. But yeah, we'll have to see what they do. Who knows? Maybe they'll just keep it in the product and whoever hits it. It's not like it's a bad card to hit. Just a
Oh
little
God,
bit of
like
a
to
weird
have
one.
I mean, and it is on an envelope, but I mean to have an autograph of Senna,
That's
like
the thing. And that's what matters the most, right? The autograph. The autograph could be on a piece of paper.
mhm.
And that is what matters the most, right? The autograph and its authenticity matter the most, which is
I
why
mean,
I'm
like a good example of this,
so
like
surprised that they
in the
put that
soccer
on the left side.
world, the initial contract that Lionel Messi signed with Barcelona was on a napkin. Like they've got the napkin like framed, and it's like a historical artifact at this point.
I
Like,
know, I'm sure it would sell for an insane amount
oh,
because it
I
doesn't
gotta,
matter that it's
yeah.
on a napkin because it's the relevance, it's the importance, it's Senna's autograph on here. So yeah, I mean, we'll have to see TBD on what they're gonna do, and who knows? Maybe because I said bad things about it, now they're gonna cut my allocation. Who knows?
Let's talk brackets, my friend.
All right, so as if you're listening to this, you know that every single week we've been doing the Pick'em challenge, every single race rather. And it's always been leading to the cumulative score going in after the first 20 races, because that leaves us 4 races to do a 16-person bracket that will leave us with 1 winner. So at this point, the seeding, I mean, doesn't really matter, right? It's just single elimination. So you're in or you're out. But we got the Iceman F1 against Trick cards. We've got Michelle F1 fan against EC87 GTI in the, we'll call it the North region. In the West, we've got Not So Speed Racer 1 against Putty F1 and Branham Jim against Nico Tomicelli. Over in the East, we've got Adam Hareen against Justin Incident Cards and C Dent 15 against Lando Cardrissian. And then down in the South, you got G Myers Cards against MN Purple 1 and Spyro Collects against Max McDowell 6. So for these 16 people, what they are going to be doing is the same thing they've been doing every week. They will still be filling out. I'm going to have 10 driver matchups. Those driver matchups will be determined on what we're going to talk about next, but they will have 10 driver matchups. They pick them, put in their numbers the same way they do every single week, except this time they're not trying to come in first to win 100 or to get a high score to get cumulative. They are literally face off against one other person. I have a feeling that pole position guesses are going to have a big impact here in the bracket stage because, again, you're going against just one person. So, you know, if people are kind of picking similarly, there may end up being a decent amount of ties and it'll just go to whoever's closer in pole position. So, yeah, excited for that. Again, at the end of this, whoever wins gets $1,000 in break credit. So, pretty cool. A lot of money on the line, and it'll come, you know, just in time for new products. So, really cool.
All right, Scott, let's look at the final 16 driver bracket.
That's right. So we've got the driver bracket as well. So, you know, you may have seen it. It was on like slide 3, usually every week that I posted the results of the pick'ems. But we've been tracking the driver records, and we've seeded the drivers based on their results. The drivers that didn't make it in: Lance Stroll, Esteban Ocon, and then I think, is it both of the Alpines? Yeah, Gasly and Franco Colapinto. So those were the 4 that didn't make it in. So bottom 4 didn't make it in. You can only have 16 in a bracket. So there you go. Oh, we just got a door slam upstairs. I don't know what just happened. But Max Verstappen is going off against Fernando Alonso. Max was first ranked, Alonso 16th, and so it's going to be similar like that. Lewis Hamilton against Isaac Hadjar, Albon against Lawson, Leclerc against Behrman, Piastri against Sainz, Russell against Nico Hulkenberg, Sonoda against Kimi Antonelli, and Lando against Bortoletto. So again, we do have to have the other drivers have matchups in order to do the pick'em. So I think it's you know, Stroll against Colapinto and Gasly against Ocon. I don't know. I'll have to pull that up later. But looking at this now, Brian, you're familiar with an NCAA bracket. Real quick, fill it out for me right now. And it doesn't have to be your official, but Max Alonso, who you got?
Max.
Hamilton Hadjar.
Hamilton.
Verstappen Hamilton.
Verstappen.
Okay, so you've got Max in the final 4.
Yep.
And then Albon Lawson.
Albon.
Leclerc. Behrman. And then Albon Leclerc.
Leclerc. So it's going to be Max against Leclerc. I think Max takes it.
Okay, so you got Max in the championship. On the other side, Piastri Sainz.
Piastri.
Okay. Russell Hulkenberg.
Russell.
Piastri or Russell?
Piastri.
Okay, Piastri in the final 4. Then we got Sonoda Antonelli.
Sonoda. Go with an upset.
Okay.
Mild upset.
Norris Bortoletto.
Norris.
Okay, and then Sonoda Norris.
Norris.
Okay, so then in the so this will be Qatar.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have Piastri against Norris.
I actually feel like that's a better track for Piastri. I would actually go with Piastri at that point, regardless of how the championship's going at that point.
So then Abu Dhabi, last race of the season, you're going to have Max against Piastri. Who you got for the championship?
Max.
Ooh. All right. And we're going to have, again, I'm making this all on a bracket, like website and everything. You'll be able to go to the link, fill out the bracket. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm really excited.
So I guess question, Scott, because like, everyone's going to have like matchups that they're going to have. They're not going to be picking their bracket for the rest of the season based on this, are they?
No, yeah, based on this right now, it just like an NCAA tournament, you go in, boom, pick it all the way through.
So like this, okay. All right. So you could be out really early
You
here
could.
if there's
Yeah, with your bracket, you definitely could. Now, the people that are in the other bracket, they're doing the regular pick'ems. So that's different. This is just a new challenge because only 16 people and then 8 and then 4 and then 2 are going to be doing the pick'em, right? But I still wanted to have something for the whole community to be able to participate in. That's going to be this. That's going to be this bracket challenge. And we'll watch it and I'll track the stats and see who's in the lead going through all the way down to the final matchup. So that'll be fun. And we'll do something. We'll give away something for whoever wins this bracket. But yeah, I love a bracket. So we
I
got two
do.
brackets simultaneously going at the same time. Two
Bracketol
brackets.
It's bracketology.
Bracketception.
Bracket inception.
And then we do have another brackets coming up a little bit after this, but we'll talk about that on another podcast.
Well, my friend, 40 minutes in, I thought this was probably going to be like a 20-minute episode, but
Never is.
we got talking about the Dynasty. Again, what is it? November 19th is the
19th.
tentative release
19th
date.
is the tentative release
So
date.
again,
Yes.
I know we didn't mention it. 1 card per box, 5 boxes in a case. Probably won't be cheap. They'll probably do an EQL drop on Topps. There's a lot going. The other part, we kind of glazed over this too, and we haven't yet really covered the lights out product releases, just because it's not something that I'm particularly passionate about. And for you as a breaker, it's hard to get the product from overseas, especially in the political climate that we are currently in the United States. Won't get into any more detail there. There's a lot going for this, Scott. First, Lewis Hamilton on card in a Ferrari race suit.
First Dynasty, yes.
First Dynasty, yes.
Right, because we do have the premium lights out did have on card.
Oh, that was
autos.
On card. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Stand corrected there.
One.
But I mean, this rookie class, Hadjar.
And
I don't really consider Lawson a rookie.
You don't have to pull back that full take because, I mean, dude, there's going to be a lot of really cool rookie cards, right? Like you said, Antonelli and Hadjar and everybody. The number one selling card from this, without a doubt, is going to be the Lewis Hamilton Ferrari jumbo patch. Like that, no other card will even come close to the numbers that card will do. Besides maybe the Senna glove, depending on what that is. But Lewis Hamilton Ferrari patch will be crazy. Everyone will want that card. I mean, we sold the Leclerc last year for 30,000. The signs even went for almost 15,000 last year. So yeah.
I think Antonelli spots are going to be popular.
Very. Behrman too. I mean, Behrman, we managed to somehow talk through the entire Mexican Grand Prix without talking about the driver of the day, Oliver Behrman, who came in 4th racing with those.
He's really turning it on. And now there's even rumors, not that we get into the rumors too much, but like Ferrari might only go 2 years with Hamilton at this point.
Yeah,
I mean, Behrman
could be there in 27.
He could be there in 27. And, again, not to shortchange him, doing it in Haas. And we talked about it like we did a couple episodes ago with Hadjar. Your first action in Formula One, and you're maybe not in the top flight car, you're in the midfield or a back marker, and you put in results and you get points. Teams notice that. And it shows that you have a lot of potential. So again, this has been a phenomenal rookie class. Everyone's had some bright spots.
Yeah, and there's just some
more than others,
right? I think the idea also is there's so many. And listen, what's really good about this product, because man, how many products have we had where we've gone back and it's like, okay, we've got our new rookie class coming in. Well, one of them's not in F1 anymore. One of them we know is on the way out, or we don't have a rookie anymore. Like like look at 2021. By the time we got 2021, Mazepin wasn't racing anymore, and Schumacher was, had the 1 year left. Then by the time when we got 2022, Zhou Guanyu had 1 year left, and then he was out. Then 2023, Oscar was great, but Logan out, and like it just, we finally have a class. Everybody's coming back. We're like literally, we're gonna be opening this, and it's gonna be off season. Well, end of season too, but mostly off season when we're ripping this stuff. And everybody's coming back. So every rookie that's in there is going to be on the grid next year, which is unprecedented in the amount of rookies that we had this year and the amount of rookies that are retaining their seats. I'm really excited about it. I think it has the chance to be an all-time year in terms of F1 products. Like I said, it has a chance. As it comes out right now, it is not an all-time product because we don't know what's going to happen to these rookies. People may speculate, whatever, but we don't know. Look at 2023. Cases were $2,000 for a long time. Now this is crazy, by the way. Blowout has 2023 Chrome cases listed for $8,000. Don't do that. Don't spend $8,000 on a case. But even when it was at 5 and 6, it's over 2x. It's gotten close to 3x. These might do it, but you need one of these rookies to be in a championship battle, right?
Yeah,
Now,
Lewis in a Ferrari is not going to carry the product.
Right. We're going to need, and because Lewis in a Ferrari is really cool this year, but the whole it's his first year with Ferrari cards. Once his second year with Ferrari cards come out, it's just not as special, right? So we really do need a rookie to ultimately challenge. And I don't know who that will be. I think Kimi probably has the best chance given the car he's in. But we don't know the course of their careers, the trajectory. And it took Oscar a couple seasons to really get it going. And boy, is he getting it going. So, we just need one or maybe two, the rookies to pan out. And it's an amazing set. Excited.
So the episode's even longer now, thanks to that little tangent there. But
little rant at the end. Yep.
We're a little out of practice. Haven't podcasted a whole lot lately. So again, like, subscribe, do all those YouTubey things. Give us a review on Apple Podcasts. Scott, before we wrap it up, what's happening in the cap? We haven't really talked about anything else that you've got going on because you've been all over the place.
We've been all over. We talked about the trips and everything. I mean, honestly, nothing crazy, right? We've had some streams, we've done a bunch of stuff. It's been a lot of fun. We pulled a lot of big cards, sold a lot of big cards, but nothing outside. I mean, the driver bracket and the community bracket for the pickup. I mean, those are the things I'm the most focused on right now. And then, new product will be coming out soon, and we'll be all in on that. Obviously, we've had our volume 2 trackside purple sector paddock packs and our volume 1 of pit lane, which have been very, very well received. So really excited. We're almost sold out of all of those. I think we're down to 4 cases of purple sector and pit lane, 3 cases of trackside. So those are going to be gone probably before December. But yeah, they're a lot of fun to put together. We're actually working with a new company to help us make them even better. So really excited.
Awesome. Good stuff. All right. We will now bring it home at this point.
All right, everybody. Well, we are in Brazil, and we're going to have to see how things pan out. We got a 3-way championship battle going on. But guys, while we get ready for the race in Brazil, collect your cardboard, keep it carbon.